morning, folks. This is the third day of our stay in Cebu City, and this is the day of our city tour. So we're going to prepare ourselves for that tour, and we're going to go down to the lobby and wait for our tour guide.
Getting breakfast buffet. We start with rice cream. This is what they have. Benedict's here. Roasted potato.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Sa ka, ma'am. Hardboard, omelette, nilahan ka, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Chutneys for the bread. That's Papa taking his breakfast. Cereals, station.
We're here at the lobby right now waiting for our tour guide to arrive. My wife booked this tour yesterday via TripAdvisor, and it cost us between $60 to $70 per person. It's a good deal.
We're going to do a city tour, Cebu City tour.
We're on the road now, and Ren, our tour guide, gives us bits of information about the city and some of its unique qualities. At times when we see something interesting on the road, he gives a brief description of what it is. Basically, Ren takes us to the farthest spot first, up in the mountains. Then we go down to the other places as we go towards the city center.
Di, ang lungkot dito nung COVID.
Tumatakburot po kami, yung mga shuttle lang po. Pag nagsa-shuttle lang.
Lahat.
Dito.
Oo.
Yung mga mayayaman, dito na tumitira. Hindi siguro sa babae.
Bisikleta. Ang lakas nila ha.
Tapos pababa, okay na sila.
Yung parker lang talaga.
ferry lang, di ba?
Opo, 2 oras lang.
Oh, yung
Bumagsak.
aeroplano niya.
Oo.
Aksidente yung magsasay. Person.
After about an hour's drive from the city, we arrived at our first tourist attraction for the day. This is the original Sirao Flower Garden, also known as the Little Amsterdam of Cebu. Ren told us that neighboring properties also put up their own flower gardens after observing the success of the original. They even lower their prices to attract tourists to their gardens. That to me is the essence of competition.
Bumaba ka man lang doon. Hi! Nandito kami sa, what do you call this place, Art? Garden of Flowers?
Oh.
Garden of Flowers in Cebu City.
We opted for the original, of course, so that if by chance we would not be able to come back here, at least we managed to visit the very first and original Sirao Flower Garden. This is also called Little Amsterdam. Maybe sometime in the future, my wife and I would be able to go to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, right? To see the real thing. It's time to move on to the next tourist spot. This is a must-see place in Cebu, so always include this place in your tour. Overall, we spent a little over 15 minutes here. We were kind of hurrying up because we still have a lot of ground to cover. This is Top's Lookout. When we entered the place, we noticed a number of tables that are lined up along a semicircular hallway that is also adorned by circular arches. Everything's in stone. And we also noticed hexagonal ground tiles that have grass in between, and we also noticed that the roof itself is semicircular. So the architecture here is a study in circles. So that's interesting. When we arrived here, it was just us, my wife and I, and Ren, our tour guide. And then a little while later, there were other tourists. But if you really want this place all to yourself, come in the morning, okay? But I would imagine that this place is frequented by a lot of people, probably in the afternoon. They would view the sunset at the other side and the view of Cebu City on the other side. And I would imagine that you can have your dinner here because we see a lot of tables. So you can have your dinner here and look at the city lights and the stars at the same time when the sky is clear. So, I mean, that would be a very nice experience. So probably young people come here every night, and this place would be filled up with a lot of people admiring the city lights and the view of the stars. I wish there would be people taking pictures of that view, the city lights below and the stars above. This hallway gives me a feeling that I'm in a wormhole being transported from one galaxy to another. It's time to move on to the next place. I'm guessing that since this is a lookout, the next place would be somewhere downhill from here. We're now approaching the entrance to the Temple of Leah. We now see that wall. The tour guide told us that just for that wall alone, the owner spent millions of pesos just for that wall. Ren told us that up to now, parts of the Temple of Leah are still being constructed. So the owner has already passed away a while ago, but the temple, in honor of his wife, is still being constructed. Got tidbits of information on this temple that I got from the Pinoy Traveler's blog. Check him out. This temple is located in the town of Visayas, Cebu. It is a Roman-inspired shrine and is also known as the Taj Mahal of Cebu. It was constructed as a symbol of one man's undying love for his wife. It has become one of the most popular landmarks of Cebu. It is a must-go-to place when you're here. It was said that the owner spent around 80 million pesos to construct this temple in honor of his wife. As I mentioned before, there are parts of this temple that are still being constructed. I'm going inside a part that I think is still being constructed because I see a little bit of scaffolding here and there, and like that one, yeah, that's scaffolding. So this part here is being constructed. So by the looks of it, I think this is going to be a semi-open air restaurant in the future because it looks like it. I actually see tables here now and some decoration. See that there's a bar there. I think that's a bar. So yeah, it's a good place for an open air restaurant, semi-open, a covered restaurant, and then it can overflow here on this huge patio. That would be good. I think I have a hunch that that's gonna be a restaurant. It's time to leave the Temple of Leah and go to another place. When you're here, it feels like you're teleported back to either Italy or Greece because the architecture, for me, it looks more Greek than Roman. The Romans took the architecture of the Greeks and applied it to their country. So I recognize the Doric order, for example, on the columns. So there are, I think, 5 orders: the Doric, Ionic, Corinthian, Tuscan, and Composite. So for the columns of the Temple of Leah, they used the Doric order.